This is a story about a little girl who learned to say yes to herself unapologetically. The She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically platform is here to motivate, encourage, and empower you. The little girl had dreams of becoming a playwright. Motivational speaker. And best-selling author. When the little girl finally realized she had slept on herself and her God-given abilities, she grew up and became all of these things. Now, she's helping others to say yes to themselves. And she wants to inspire you to say yes to yourself too. A Yes to Herself platform and Trivia's Inspirational Radio across all available social media platforms. The truth, lyrics, and vocals were performed by Tyler Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. It's the B.O.B. bounce. And it's about to get real. Let's go. It's about to get real. Let's go. It's about to get real. It's about to get. It's about to get real. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor.
I don't know it. What you about to learn?
All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. Step, 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 step up. Back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up. Back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right. Clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left. Clap, clap. It's a new direction with a brand new blessing. Step up. Back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up. Stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right. Clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left. Clap, clap. It's a new direction with a brand new blessing. Step up. Back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up. Back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right. Clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out.
Now that you've met our 2023 first quarter radio host for Trivia's Inspirational Radio, let's see if you are ready to become a host. Are you tenacious, resilient, illuminated, victorious, inspiring, and amazing? Of course you are. So send your interest email to the encourager43@gmail.com. That's THENCOURAGER, the number 43@gmail.com. See you soon.
fight. I hope that you all heard everything I just said. If you're watching, can you please tell me if you heard anything that I just said? Because I just realized that my computer was muted, but it wasn't showing mute on StreamYard. So yay, fun. So I'll just really quickly recap what I said. It's weird. Got a Starbucks cup. It's been very helpful. Don't have to use plastic anymore. It has ice in it from 12 o'clock, so, but it's still ice. And I know when I drink out of it, it's cold, but I don't feel the cold on the outside as cold as it is on the inside. It's been a week. It's been a good, less stress week. Still backed up on some things. So I got to get myself back on track before I get deeper in a hole. But I'm at the point where I am trying different things to find that peace level. I don't even want to say it, but I'm gonna probably start going to the gym. Whew, I don't know. That's gonna be a stretch, but that's the plan. To eventually get to the gym. I know people that are going 5 to 7 days a week. It's gonna take a while before I even get to that level. I'm probably gonna start with the Just Dance, getting back to moving my body a lot. And this weekend at work, I realized that although I do not go to the gym, I get a workout in. I was told like twice that I should wear an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or something to keep track of my steps. That's how bad this weekend was, in a good way, because I was literally going back and forth for hours. I was moving tables and chairs, so I definitely got some arms in, lifting a few things, wiping down tables. I was doing the whole Karate Kid method. When I got home, although I needed to eat, all I wanted to do was lay down in the bed, just like a starfish. And then yesterday on my day off, and it's air quotes because I wasn't on the schedule, but it wasn't like a me day as I would have wanted it to be because I still had so much work to do. I did wash clothes. That was good. But even then, it was so hard to try. Well, I did try because I accomplished a few things, but it was still hard to get some stuff done. My body was still aching, but I got through it. It's a Monday. I already told you I was not planning on getting up as early as I wanted to be, or as early as I did today. God had other plans. He knew I had to set my alarm earlier than I wanted it to because I could not realize or figure out why I set my alarm for 7 something. And he knew. He knew. And there we go again. Got off earlier than I would have gotten off if I went to work the regular time. So I got more stuff done. Got more because after the show, I'll be getting some work done, but more me time where I could have gone to get food, but I ended up still being here trying to get a few things off my list, which would have been way worse if I got off at 2 and then stayed until 3. Not fun. So with this week, a few things that I have going on. I have not big plans for me, but big plans for my mental. This week is set for everything, and that's a lot, but everything that I am behind on, not just work, but also when it comes to me. So I didn't do a good job with it today, but I will say I ate twice since 8 o'clock, or 8-ish, which is already a lot. I mean, it was like almost 9 o'clock. I had um the double smoked bacon at Starbucks. And then close to 2 o'clock, I had a croissant. So it wasn't a lot of food, but even when it comes to food, I am going to put it in my calendar to remind myself, get off of the computer. This work is important, but it's not that important. Go find something to eat instead of waiting to eat until I'm off of work, because that's how busy I am, which is so not fun. Meetings back to back, then homework, and then going to the other job. It's a lot. And then classes. Keep forgetting about classes. But it's not what I thought for myself. But even through the trials and tribulations that have come up, it's January 30th. In like 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, I will be 23. I'm not going to get emotional right now because it just feels so real now. But there's just so much where it's like we have to think about other people, but we have to think about ourselves. And how that is, oh, I didn't even know I could do this. How easy that sounds. It is so many. I don't want to use this word. I don't want to use this word, but I will. There are so many demons that are trying to fight the whole you have to worry about you initiative because I think you're being selfish or you're being a jerk. I mean, and I'm a human, so sometimes, yes, I feel like there are ways that we can go about doing things, but if you say, hey, I need this time versus just shut down, completely different. So it's easier to say, hey, I need this time for me, or I need this time to get back on track. And whoever you're talking to can either be a human about it, or they could be a jerk about it, where they're saying, yeah, no, well, that's on you. Or they could say, I understand. Let's figure out how not only we can work together to make sure you're okay, but how we can also make sure the task or responsibilities are still being filled while you have your time. So it's a lot, but it really depends on who you're talking to, because not everyone is gonna be, hey, take this time for yourself. And again, I'm a human and sometimes I forget. And it's not forgetting, it's just in the moment, you have to try to understand that, yes, if you're sick, I want you to be okay. But now I have to change my plans. So it's always gray lines and gray spaces between everything good and evil. But it's one of those in the moment situations. Not fun. It's not fun at all. So right now, I am in the process of trying to figure out if I'm going to possibly get a promotion or leave a position. So that's where I am right now. And when it comes to possibly getting the promotion, I have to think about what type of leader I am, because I've been here since August, and where I thought I was a good leader, it's not really working out in my favor when it comes to my staff. So I have to keep reminding myself, because I've been hearing, yes, you're doing really good, but it's not coming from the people that I feel like I need to hear it from. And because of that, I sometimes think that maybe the job isn't for me. And I know that's not entirely true, because if I am promoted, I'll have another group of team members who may think completely different than the current members. And it's weighing down on me a lot. And as much as I want to, as always, because I'm human, as much as I want to say yes, absolutely, to the promotion, I know it's a lot of things that play in effect. So right now, I am just waiting to listen to what God says about it, because it's not my decision to make. And I would hate to make the wrong decision not following the plan. So that's where I am, because we want to be that nice leader or boss that has the connection with their team members. And then when it comes to situations where you have to be that tough person, I understand what you're going through, but you should have figured it out beforehand, it's not fun. Because then you're like, well, you didn't say that before. No, you're right. So now you're reminding me again that I'm not a good leader because I let you get away with things. So, yay, being a supervisor. If you're watching right now, let me know your tricks of being a leader, a manager, a supervisor, boss, because I could really use the advice when it comes to working with the team. I feel like having my own supervisor or the people above me hasn't been an issue, because they know or they see that I'm doing a really good job. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given me opportunity to continue. But it's the other staff or other team members or co-workers that I'm trying to figure out. So any advice, motivation would be very helpful. Or even if you have been in a situation where you're trying to understand what type of leader you want to be, let us know in the comments. Somebody else, I already told you I'm going through it. You're going through it. Somebody else might be going through it, and you could be getting advice together, or we could be getting advice together, but you could be getting advice that works for you. I'll get something that works for me. Nothing wrong with that. Whew. So, I already told you it's been a Monday. It's been a Monday. See, I wasn't ready for that cold. Oh, sorry. It just tastes like water earlier. Now I just got a bunch of syrup or sugar. Okay. So I already told you it's been a Monday. It's only 3:26, and where things could be going completely left, they're continuing to go right and being positive. So I am not mad at it. As much as I would love to just go to sleep for the rest of the day and not have a care in the world. So much stuff to do. And it's good. It's cool. But the goal, or at least the plan, is to actually get stuff done today. And I told you this week, I am trying to be proactive with not only my responsibilities, but within my life. Yes, I have to find some time, might start tonight, to do the like Just Dance workouts. It's been forever since I did it. And then tomorrow, I am planning, well, maybe not tomorrow, but it starts tomorrow. I'm planning on going to see another show at the theater because tomorrow may be my only day to see it this week, and they're only here until Sunday, I think. Annie is in town, so kind of excited about that one. I did go see Jagged Little Pills a week or two ago. I think it was the week before last. It was actually pretty interesting from what I've seen, and I say that lightly, um, because it was a long week that week, and I needed to go see that show to get myself back sane and in line, which maybe that is why Friday felt so much better. I kind of let my responsibilities go that Thursday night. And no, it wasn't Thursday. I don't even know what day it was because Thursday I had class. Nope, I didn't have class because I had to go get my needle. So I went to go see that show, and it was really good. And it kind of reminded me, although I have nothing to do with the substances that were used, it reminded me that my stress level and how we want things to be perfect is not okay, because nobody is perfect. We are perfectly imperfect, which means that we are not meant to be perfect. So seeing that was kind of that reminder that things are going to happen that do not go our way, like this morning. It's all good. But that's because it's a bigger plan than what we have planned. And we feel like we're in this big circle and this bubble by ourselves, that we have to finish whatever the project is or help whoever the person is before we help ourselves. And it's draining. It is so draining. It is so frustrating. It's stressful. And then at the end of the day, you feel like you have no one to call on when everybody's calling on you. It's not true. So it took until she was put in the hospital, and I'm not spoiling the play, but it took until she was put in the hospital for her to realize that the drugs that she was doing, one, was laced, but two, they weren't, something was shaking at the table. The drugs weren't helping anything but making her sick. And where she felt as though she had to be the superhero and the superwoman to her family, to her friends, to everybody in the neighborhood, she was making it worse on herself by putting the pressure on herself. And she didn't realize that her family was actually there for her in the end. So it's a lot. And family is a very vague term, but family could be anybody. It could be the people that you chose to be your family, or the people that was chosen for you to be your family. I mean, just because you don't speak to someone every day does not mean that they do not care or think about you. There are so many people that I do not talk to every day. If you're watching, if you are in my family or we've ever met, even if we haven't met, I am thinking about you. I love you. I appreciate you. If you have been following my journey, and I do not just mean on Champion because it's been a while since we've reconnected, but if you've been following my journey for the past 23 years, I appreciate you. Even if it wasn't the best impact and it was negative, I appreciate you because somehow God knew I needed whatever the issue was to bring me to this place. And in the moment, definitely could have had the worst impression or the worst feeling or the worst thoughts. Growing up, being able to see how all of that, all the good and bad and ugly has been helpful is amazing. Yes, stress comes in many different forms. And as we go each day, stress can get added to our everyday. But as we get older, we see that the stuff in the past, even if it's, the past and history, is something that happens if the time went behind us. We're at 3:33. 3:33. 3 o'clock past history. If we had an issue at 3 o'clock, I mean, I don't think I had an issue with anybody at 3 o'clock, but that would have been a situation that happened in the past. I might not be over it now because it's so fresh, but I know in a few hours, few days, few weeks, few months, not knowing what time we have left, that issue was very helpful. And in the moment, I didn't tell you, thank you for being a jerk, but in my heart, in my mind, I'm saying, thank you to God for allowing me to be able to experience that situation that I'm able to now get out of. It is I'm pretty sure you didn't hear any of that, but like my window is right here and like by the street thing. So everybody likes to ride past very loud. It's interesting. Sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's like it's 3 a.m. Go to bed. But back to our situation. Our situationship. It's life. And I don't like having that mindset. I don't like having that mindset because then it means that you're being numb to all of the things that are happening in the world. And for me, it's scary. Because if you're numb, that means although it happens consistently, we're not really surprised about it. It doesn't break our hearts anymore. It doesn't make us cry. It's just, oh, well, that happened. And that's not fun. I mean, granted, none of it is fun. But somebody gave me some kind of good advice. And I think we talked about it a little bit last week. But it was kind of good advice where, personally, I take my job, I take life, and I take people way too seriously. Oh, and I take myself way too seriously. And they weren't completely wrong. But that's something else I'm working on this week. And it's not something you can do just straight off the bat, cold turkey. But maybe it's going to be helpful as far as reducing stress and finding time to get my mental health back on track. Following in today's current events, we all know how important mental health is. Part of the whole point of the show is to try to get your mental health back on track, or at least take it where you want it to be, so that you know that all of the situations that you go through, you're not alone. There are resources and people that you can talk to. And I know I kind of just, my mood changed a little bit, but that's because I'm going back to taking myself seriously. So let's fix that. But anyway, mental health is a big thing. And a lot of times in our communities, back then more than now, but we didn't look at mental health as a real thing. We see all of these celebrities and these TikTok and Instagram and social media influencers, and we say, yep, that's the person I want to be. That's the person I want to be like. I want people to like me or look at me the way they do that person. It could be a very lonely world. You feel like you're at the top, and if you make one mistake, then you have all of these people hating on you or trying to tear you down, threatening you. And you can't tell anybody about it because you don't think anybody would understand. But that's not true. There's so many people that would possibly understand. And possibly is a very weak word. There are so many people that would understand. And when you let it be known, I need help, I cannot handle this by myself, they'll have that help. My screen is being weird. And I know, again, this topic kind of just changed and shifted the mood a little bit. Although mental health is a serious matter, part of it is being able to breathe, think about the choices that you want to make and the choices that you should or could make, including finding resources, finding support, and finding opportunities So as many of you know, and I'm still very bad at this, so this is definitely something I'm going to have to work on this week. I started this in November. Is it upside down? It is upside down. I started this in November. I think it was Thanksgiving break because it was only a week and I didn't have classes, didn't have to go to work, but I was on call. And I wasn't expecting anything crazy to happen while I was on call because it was Thanksgiving week. And although I got a few calls, I mostly was taking that time as a breather to actually sleep. So I started it. I think I got a good amount done for a day of work. I'm trying to get it in the camera. I got a good amount done in a day worth of work. But we're in January. November, December, January. January is over tomorrow. Part of why my mental health hasn't been where I needed it to be, and why I've been so stressed lately, why I've been cranky. And why I've been dragging and pushing myself out of the bed versus jumping out of the bed. It's because I'm not doing the things that I should be doing for myself anymore. Diamond art was definitely one of those soothing activities to put me back center. Trust me, diamond art is a lot of work. I think I started maybe, let's say 5. I've started 5 of them. Not all this. Oh yeah, I've started 5 this year because I started last year. But throughout the year, I've only ever finished 1. That's how bad it is because I start getting into the groove of things and it gets me to the piece that I need to be. I start getting stressed and I forget or throw it in the back of my mind. And the stress levels don't decrease because I'm not going back to that peaceful project that I needed to clear my mind, to not cram, but to filter and prioritize the other projects. So honestly, with the time that I do have today, yes, I have a lot of work to do, but I'm going to give myself, and I'll show so this is where I am now. I'm going to give myself an hour. Hour is a minimum. 2 hours is the maximum. That's still a lot of time that I don't want to use. But for myself, I'm going to give myself between 1 and 2 hours to see how much more I can do of this today. I will share the progress, and that will just be a goal to get a little bit done every week. Hopefully, with this 2 hours, because these pieces are very tiny, as you could probably tell. Like I have some falling all over the place. I don't even know why. Pieces are very tiny. It is very tedious, but it's nothing to think about. You put the little beads inside of this, grab the glue, don't even know where my stick is, and you match it to whatever the number and color is. No thinking is required. It allows you to not only center and focus on what you need to, but it allows you to think. And I don't even know what made me choose the eye to get this time because I've had the black girl with the purple hair and the bubble gum and the headphones. I had that one. That was my very first one. Never finished it. I had a unicorn one. Never finished it. Don't even know where it is. A lot of them between like packing are like MIA. I did a Princess Tiana one for somebody's, I think it might have been birthday, or maybe it was my going away gift to them. I don't even remember. That one I finished. So I'm going, actually, I think I might have gotten one of my sisters one, and I don't remember what sister, but I know I brought them some to do on their own. And then I got one for my mom. It was like a family, hope, and love one. Don't even know what that one is. So this one I will finish. That is the plan. It will be done by the end of February, which is only 28 days. And then the week after, I will possibly be somewhere else. And I'll have another one by then. That's the plan. And that is what this week is about. Making goals to get myself back to the place that I want to be mentally, physically, emotionally. And honestly, I am apologizing in advance, although I know I don't need to. But this is not just for me. This is for everybody. If you're watching the live version, the replay, somebody shared it to you. If there's people or somebody or people in your life who are not giving you what you need, or the opposite, they are the cause of the stress, they're the cause of the emotional breakdowns, the mental breakdowns, it is perfectly fine to cut your ties. Sometimes, and I know for me personally, I feel bad because I feel like you didn't do anything to look like, oh, why did I get blocked? Because I need to set myself free from you. And it doesn't help anybody when you feel like you need to be that brave person or that strong person and you're leaving the contact there. If you are still reading messages, or if you have that open communication where if you wanted to break down, you could, it helps nobody. Because now they're still in the back of your mind, controlling what you do, stopping you from greatness. And it's not always easy to just block people right then and there, especially people that you've had a connection with or that have been a part of your life for however long. But if you feel like you're at your breaking point and this person is causing nothing but trouble, it takes nothing. Although I wouldn't recommend saying, hey, I can't do this anymore, I need some space, and removing yourself from that situation, blocking or whatever, sometimes you have to. I do that sometimes because I know I'm not the type of person that could just goodbye, because I have to rephrase what I was gonna say. But because of the person that I grew up to be, or the person that I was raised to be, I am not mean, or I can't be selfish, even if it's for my own good. I can't be selfish, and I feel like everybody deserves something. And something doesn't have to be physical. That could be the situation that we're talking about where something is an explanation. But sometimes it's like, I was about to hit myself. I need this time for me, and keep seeing you does not help me at all. Brings back old memories. It brings back anxiety. It brings back me feeling weak and helpless. Let them go. Let them go. Because they're not thinking about any of that. And it hurts you. Sorry. They're not thinking of how you feel anymore. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't be in the situation where you are even thinking that this person is not healthy for you, for your life. I could go on and on and on, and you know I can. So I'm going to prepare to close with the, 9 minutes I have left? With a few things. If you do not know, we at Champion, and I am saying we, because you will see multiple people soon, and the people behind producing are part of the show. Trivia, are, I don't even know what you call her, the show, the station owner, manager. She's a part of the We. Everybody a part of Trivia's Inspirational Radio is a part of the We. Sorry, I'm very tired. But we at Champion are here to listen. We're here to lend a hand, to be your on-air cheerleader. Because you are not alone. You got this. And it doesn't matter what life throws at you. Yes, I gotta do the hair movements today. Doesn't matter what life throws at you. You are gonna get through it. You have exactly what it takes to defeat those demons because you have God on your side. And He is not going to put you in any situation that you cannot handle. Because you have to remember that He's right there with you. And you have to ask Him when you need help. Because although He knows what you need, knowing that you need help and asking for help is so much better, because then you don't feel alone. You know that because you asked for it, you received it. And that version of help can be so many different forms. When I was having my time 2 weeks ago, I asked for help. Did I ask for help right away? No. I tried to reach out to certain people. I could not. And then people started reaching out to me. People that I didn't even think would reach out to me. People that I wouldn't have even thought to reach out to. But because I asked God for help, because I reached out, I got the help that I needed and not what I wanted. And I'm so happy for that. I'm so thankful for that. And again, this is not just my story. This is the story of everybody. As far as if you are going through things, Champion is here. Your on-air cheerleader is here. If you've gotten through things, come talk about it on the show. Come remind whoever's listening that what they're going through is temporary. That the light that you are waiting for, that shining star, is within you. Because one way or another, when you feel like you can't anymore, and then you get that push reminding you that you can. Okay, I'm gonna reel it back in. But there are so many times, and I already told you about the possible promotion, but there's so many times when I just feel like I should quit. That I can go back in my tunnel, get in my private oasis, because I'm not a runner, I'm a hider. And just call it quits. But even me, I wouldn't know how to do that. Because I need to be helping somebody in order to feel good. And not in a way of, oh, you're only doing this to make yourself feel good, but helping others is what helps me. This morning, I already told you I wasn't supposed to be in the office until 9, ended up getting there, or had to be there 8 something. And my one of my team members were like, "You're saying good morning to everybody and nobody's saying it back to you." I said, "I know, but at least I know I said it. And that may or may not make somebody's day, whether they say it back to me. That's fine. But just know, or at least they know that somebody is happy that they're here. Somebody is excited that we're seeing a new day. And it's not always easy to not get responses, but hi, it just says Facebook user, so I don't know who it is, but hi. But not always getting those responses is not a bad thing. And I'm so happy that I have the position that I have, although it's kind of changing a little bit, being able to, so today, not being in the office, but still working, not a part of my plan, but I have more interaction with my residents that I don't really get in the office. And it was good. It reminded me that, oh, I haven't seen this person in forever. How are you? And I literally got to ask how people were doing, which was good. Yes, we're in week 4. Whew, and some schools are just now starting classes. But having those honest, yeah, I'm not doing too well. I get it. You're running a class. You know where my office is. I know that they, even if they don't say it, I like to believe that they know that I'm here for them, even with the little good mornings. So we are still running out of time, but I wanted to get that off my chest. I'm here every Mondays, 3 to whenever. And I'm going to show that commercial one more time for us so you can find all the shows from T.R.I.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio, as well as find the contact information if you or someone you know may be interested in hosting their own show. All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. It's the B.O.B. bounce. And it's about to get real. Let's go. It's about to get real. Let's go. It's about to get real. It's about to get. It's about to get real. All my blessed people, report to the dance floor. All my blessed people, report to the dance floor. All my blessed people, report to the dance floor.
I don't know it. What you about to learn?
All my blessed people, report to the dance floor. All my blessed people, report to the dance floor. All my blessed people, report to the dance floor. Step, 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 step up. Backstand still, matter of fact. Shout. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up. Backstand still, matter of fact. Shout. Everywhere you you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right, clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left, clap, clap. It's a new direction with a brand new blessing. Step up, back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up, back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right, clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left, clap, clap. It's a new direction with a brand new blessing. Step up, back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up, back, stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right, clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left,
Now that you've met our 2023 first quarter radio host for Trivia's Inspirational Radio, let's see if you are ready to become a host. Are you tenacious, resilient, illuminated, victorious, inspiring, and amazing? Of course you are. So send your interest email to the encourager43@gmail.com. That's THENCOURAGER, the number 43@gmail.com. See you soon.
Okay. Oops. Yep. So I'm sharing this information as well as just shared it with all of you. Come join T.R.I.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio. Listen to the other shows. Listen to the other hosts. Have a great week. I already told you what my plan is this week. Getting myself back mentally, or not even back, because this is the year of moving forward. So getting myself to the place where I want to be mentally, physically, emotionally, etc., etc. How are you getting through this week, this year? I already told you 23 is happening in 2 weeks, so I'm excited, but like emotional, trying to figure out how I'm actually going to celebrate. Haven't actually celebrated myself in a long time, and I'm not really expecting much. I mean, I'm in a whole new place, so I'm expecting to have to do it on my own, and maybe that's not the best way to put it, but it's time, right? So I have a lot to try to figure out and decompress. Have a great week, and I will see you next Monday on Champion. Bye.